In the theatre of life, emotions play the lead roles, often guiding our actions and dictating our happiness. But what if we had a script to help us master those emotions, ensuring they uplift rather than rule us? Welcome to the world of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy rich with techniques to bring balance and clarity to our inner world. It's a philosophy designed to make us more resilient, happier, more virtuous, and more wise. And as a result, better people, better parents, and better professionals. Stoic principles and practices are all about mental strength and virtue. They will help you assert your willpower in pursuit of your goals. They will help you live up to your highest ideals. So make sure to stick until the end of the video, because leaving early shows a lack of willpower. Number 10, focus on what you can control. The single most important practice in Stoic philosophy is differentiating between what we can change and what we can't, what we have influence over and what we do not. We all spend too much time and energy worrying about things outside of our control. And how much time is too much time? Well, anything more than zero, the Stoics would say. Why? Because trying to influence things outside of your control is a futile effort that comes at the expense of taking action on the things you can influence. So what do we do? Number 9, take action. When you imagine a Stoic person in the conventional sense of the word, you might imagine someone sitting indifferently, statuesque, unmoved to action. This is not a Stoic. The Stoics emphasize taking action. This follows directly from the first principle. Having distinguished between what you can and cannot influence, you pour all your energy into the things you can. You refuse to be a passive victim of your circumstances. You work hard to make your life better, to make the world better. You are proactive. Even if you're going through hell, you keep going. And how do we keep going? Number 8, be virtuous, Seneca said. A good character is the only guarantee of everlasting, carefree happiness. For Stoics, virtue is far more important than pleasure. A good life is a life of virtue. In other words, the path to true happiness is not the selfish pursuit of pleasure, but a values-driven life of integrity, ethical behavior, and service. Okay, but how are you supposed to know what is right? The answer is wisdom. Wisdom here means truth and understanding. A Stoic should seek to know what is true, learn continuously, and keep an open mind. However, the goal is not to acquire knowledge randomly, but to doggedly pursue the most important facts, those most relevant to living a good life, because that will lead to insights into the true nature of things. And how do we show the world what is true? Number 7, lead by example. Epictetus said, "On no occasion call yourself a philosopher, and do not speak much among the uninstructed about theorems, but do that which follows from them." For example, at a banquet, do not say how a man ought to eat, but eat as you ought to eat. The people in your life will learn a great deal more from observing the way you live than from any instruction you might give them. This is not only because mimicking others is the natural way humans and most other animals learn, but also because people get defensive when they're told what to do. If a person tells me how to be a better person, the implication is that I'm currently not a good person. I feel judged, I become obstinate. But if a person shows me how to be a better person, simply by the way they live their own life, I might be inspired to follow their example. Now tell me in the comments, do you lead by example? Number 6, diminish your ego. Now the Stoics operated nearly 2,000 years before the advent of psychotherapy, so they're not referring to the ego in the Freudian sense. Rather, as Ryan Holiday defines it in his book, ego is the enemy. Ego here means an unhealthy belief in your own importance. It's that petulant child inside every person, the one that chooses getting his or her way over anything else. The need to be better than, more than recognized for, far past any reasonable utility. It's the sense of superiority and certainty that exceeds the bounds of confidence and talent. So yeah, ego is bad, but how do you diminish it? Number 5, you're not entitled to anything. Ryan Holiday said, having an end in mind is no guarantee that you'll reach it. No Stoic would tolerate that assumption, but not having an end in mind is a guarantee you won't. A practicing Stoic has goals that they want to achieve, and they work hard in pursuit of those goals, but they also know that they're not entitled to success. This relates back to the first principle of Stoicism. You can choose your target. You can control how much effort you put in. You can control the strategies you use, but you cannot control all of the variables, so you cannot control the outcome. Goals are important, and hard work is critical, but no one is entitled to success. And make no mistake, diligently working toward an objective that you might never reach is difficult. So what can we control? Let's find out. Number 4. Exercise your will. You can learn to love doing what is right. Your cravings for sugar and fast food and drugs can be replaced with cravings for salads and exercise and nature. Your desire to get what you want can be replaced by a desire to help others thrive. An addiction to binge-watching shows on Netflix can be replaced with a habit of reading. It's very difficult to imagine that this is possible, but your brain can rewire. Change your behavior, and eventually your brain will change too. In the long run, healthy and virtuous behaviors that once drained your willpower become easy and automatic. And when does willpower matter most? When things are at their worst, when doing what's right is most difficult, when keeping your spirits high feels impossible. That's when you need strong willpower most of all. And what does willpower relate to? Number 3. Practice resilience when faced with obstacles, failure, or tragedy. Ryan Holiday famously quoted, "Under pressure and trial we get better, become better people, leaders and thinkers. See things for what they are. Do what we can, endure and bear what we must. What blocked the path is now a path. What once impeded action advances action. The obstacle is the way." Believing that problems are actually opportunities is a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you think this way, you will act in such a way as to prove yourself right. When you believe that struggle makes you stronger, you will work to make that vision a reality. So when something bad happens, say to yourself, "It's all good mental training." Epictetus taught that every moment is an opportunity to practice virtue. Every difficulty and every temptation is a chance to develop stronger will. So how does this translate into action? Number 2, choose your response. Ward Farnsworth said, "We don't react to events, we react to our judgments about them, and the judgments are up to us." At the core of Stoicism is the practice of responding rather than reacting. A problem would have you react with frustration. You choose to respond with resilience. An automatic negative thought arises that would have you react with judgment and criticism. You choose to reject that thought and replace it with a better one. A feeling of helplessness arises that would have you react with despondency. You choose to take positive action anyway. If all we do is react, then we don't have any chance to choose to act in accordance with reason and virtue. We have to create a gap between stimulus and response and intercede there in order to exercise our free will. Now, what is the last piece of the puzzle? Number 1, be grateful. Epictetus said, "He is wise who doesn't grieve for the things he doesn't have, but rejoices for the things he does have." Although the Stoics probably did not keep gratitude journals, they believed in the importance of noticing and appreciating the many good things in life that we tend to take for granted. A surprising technique for cultivating gratitude is what the Stoics called practicing misfortune. And if you want to find out the secrets of practicing misfortune, you better subscribe to our channel because we explain that in our next video. If you made it here, it shows you have high willpower and you will become successful through your discipline. Like this video and embark on this journey of self-improvement with us. Comment what Stoic lessons you want to see next, and in the meantime, click the video in screen now to become even a better Stoic and better person